What was supposed to be a seamless passing of the torch turned into a headline that stunned the entire golfing world. For months, Tiger Woods was the unspoken certainty, the inevitable Ryder Cup captain who would lead Team USA into Bethpage Black with the same ferocity he brought to every major he's ever played. And then, in the most un-Tiger-like fashion imaginable, the moment came and went. No press conference, no statement behind a podium. Just a quiet third-person memo that changed everything. Tiger Woods will not accept the role of Ryder Cup captain. That single line delivered via media release hit with more weight than any drive off the tee. Bold expectations met a cold silence. It wasn't just the what that shocked fans and analysts, it was the how. Woods, known for his presence, his control, and his fire, opted for a sterile press communication, almost as if detaching himself from the decision entirely. The silence spoke louder than the statement. For a player whose voice has shaped the sport's direction over the last 2 decades, the formality felt surgical, clinical. The world expected a roar. They got a whisper. Leadership didn't just step back, it vanished. The ripple effects were immediate. Social media ignited. Analysts froze mid-segment. The most anticipated captaincy in modern Ryder Cup history had evaporated without ceremony. Golf didn't just lose a captain, it lost a storyline. Speculation turned to concern. Was Tiger's body no longer able to withstand even off-course duties? Was he pulling back to make way for a younger generation? Or was this, as some feared, a sign of political distancing from the PGA's current chaos? Answers were few, but implications were massive. Just a week earlier, pundits on Golf Channel were using phrases like inevitable, legacy-defining, and only logical choice when discussing Tiger's appointment. And then, nothing. The king abdicated his throne before he even touched the crown. With Woods officially out, the vacuum of leadership was immediate and undeniable. What followed in his absence wasn't just surprising, it was seismic. And it all started with that one line no one expected to hear. A legacy paused, a future thrown into question. There are very few figures in golf or any sport whose mere presence commands certainty. Tiger Woods is one of them. When Team USA collapsed under pressure at the 2023 Ryder Cup in Rome, the question wasn't if change would come, but when Tiger would step in to fix it. The assumption was near universal. Bethpage Black would be his redemption canvas. The script was written long before the casting. Tiger's Ryder Cup resume is complex but undeniable. From emotional victories to painful defeats, he's been a central figure in Team USA's narrative arc, not just as a player, but increasingly as the spiritual anchor behind the scenes. His leadership at the 2019 President's Cup and 2022 Heroes role in shaping team dynamics proved one thing above all. Even when he doesn't swing a club, he swings the room. Zach Johnson's captaincy in 2023, defined by tactical errors and a visibly fractured team, left a leadership vacuum that seemed designed for one man to fill. Golf Digest, Golf Channel, and even European players like Rory McIlroy openly speculated that Tiger was already penciled in for 2025. Silence from Woods felt like a countdown. Rory didn't mince words in a pre-Masters interview. "If Tiger wants it, it's his," he said without hesitation. The respect crossed continents. Even European team insiders acknowledged that his appointment could reset the entire balance of power. Opponents were preparing for Tiger before he even accepted. What made his presumed role so compelling was the setting. Bethpage Black, tough, loud, American to its core, was the ideal arena for Tiger's return to center stage. Not as a player, but as a tactician, a motivator, a figurehead. The course matched the myth. The PGA Tour's inner circle had reportedly begun shaping logistics around Woods' potential involvement. Schedules were watched, board meetings noted. When Tiger showed up at TGL events but not Ryder Cup planning sessions, questions began to simmer. A captain's silence became louder than the media noise. And yet, beneath all that expectation, the truth was quietly forming. Tiger wasn't planning a takeover. He was planning a transition. The legend wasn't stepping forward. He was stepping aside. Everyone expected the icon. No one prepared for the exit. If Tiger Woods' absence left a question mark, Keegan Bradley's appointment answered it with an exclamation point. Just not the one anyone expected. At 38, with active tour status, unfinished business in majors, and no prior captaincy experience, Bradley was the wild card nobody had circled. And yet, there he was, Team USA's Ryder Cup captain for 2025. Golf didn't just pivot, it spun. The reaction was instant and divided. Traditionalists blinked. Fans scrolled twice to make sure it wasn't satire. Keegan Bradley? A name associated more with fiery interviews and streaky putting than strategic command? The golf world didn't see it coming, not even close. What made the announcement so jarring wasn't just the name, it was the possibility that Bradley could be both captain and competitor. The last time that happened, Arnold Palmer was still shaping golf's golden era in 1963. That's not a comparison tossed around lightly, yet suddenly it was back in circulation. History wasn't repeating, it was being rewritten. Bradley himself admitted the call came as a shock. He was approached just days before the official announcement. Even he had no idea he was in the running. According to Golf Magic, the USGA had long been tracking Tiger, only shifting to Bradley when Woods made it clear he was out. A Plan B promoted to Plan A in real time. Today's golfer noted that what Bradley lacks in pedigree, he makes up for in passion, and possibly proximity. He's close to many players on the current roster and knows the locker room dynamics intimately, but that's a double-edged sword. Can he lead peers he's still trying to beat? Familiarity breeds trust, or tension. Behind closed doors, whispers surfaced. Was this a temporary fix? A placeholder captain until 2027? Or was it a long bet on a rising locker room voice? Confidence wasn't the issue. Experience was. Still, Bradley didn't flinch. In his first media appearance, he embraced the criticism head-on, saying, "I know what people are thinking, and I'm ready to prove them wrong." Whether that's conviction or defiance remains to be seen. America got a captain. Now it has to decide if it got a leader. When the dust settled and speculation gave way to silence, the golf world waited for Tiger Woods to speak. Not as a player, but as the kingmaker he has quietly become. And when the moment finally arrived, it was clear. Tiger wasn't angry. He wasn't resentful. But he also wasn't coming back. What he said was calm. What it meant was seismic. In a statement released through official PGA channels, Woods finally offered his endorsement. "Keegan is more than capable. He has my full support." The words were clean, careful, and unmistakably strategic. This wasn't Tiger writing a love letter to Team USA. This was Tiger confirming his distance. Support was given. Leadership was not. From the outside, it sounded like a mentor passing the torch. But those closer to the game heard something else. Tiger was deliberately stepping back. Not because of politics, not because of disagreement, but because of overload. According to Golf Digest and Today's Golfer, Tiger cited time constraints tied to his TGL commitment, his policy board responsibilities, and his vision for the 2027 Ryder Cup. He's playing the long game, just not this one. CBS Sports reported that Keegan Bradley reached out personally to invite Tiger into the fold, not just symbolically but operationally. Tiger declined a formal role but left the door open for informal involvement. Bradley called it an open invitation. Woods didn't slam the door, he just didn't walk through it. The offer was real. The answer was reality. Tiger's words weren't cold, but they were controlled, and that's what struck fans most. The absence of fire. No rousing speech, no rallying cry. Just an endorsement and an exit. It was approval without investment. In doing so, Woods avoided the media frenzy that would have followed a full captaincy. He kept his focus on rebuilding the PGA's fractured infrastructure. He stayed above the fray. The greatest golfer of his generation chose structure over spectacle. And maybe that's the point. Tiger wasn't just passing up a title, he was passing up control, which makes one wonder, if Tiger's not steering Team USA now, who really is? On paper, it looked clean. Tiger stepped aside, Keegan stepped up, and the Ryder Cup machine kept turning. But behind that carefully managed transition, something else was stirring. Not scandal, but discomfort. Not drama, but dissonance. This wasn't a handoff, it was an escape route. The moment Tiger declined the captaincy, the script fractured. Inside team circles, the language became cautious. Words like fluid, non-traditional, and collaborative started replacing terms like command, structure, and authority. There was no clear chain of command, only optics. Clarity left the room, Ambiguity took the mic. Many in the media asked the same thing fans were whispering. Did Tiger wait too long to say no? By the time Bradley was tapped, many players had assumed Woods was in. If there was a plan, it was kept behind glass. If there was a backup, it wasn't rehearsed. Delays became questions. Questions became doubts. Woods' late exit gave off the scent of strategic deflection. His time constraints were real, but the timing was tighter than expected. TGL meetings, policy board duties, all valid, but also all known well in advance. Responsibility wasn't refused, it was redirected. In the locker room, things became complicated. Bradley is still an active competitor. He's not just one of the boys. He is one of the boys. That creates friction. How do you lead a team you're still trying to beat? How do you manage egos when your own career is still in play? The captain's chair isn't neutral when the captain still needs to win. Bradley has leadership instincts, but he's not immune to pressure. The early interviews were crisp but measured. His tone, eager but defensive. A man not just accepting a role, but already bracing for the skepticism around it. This wasn't empowerment, it was damage control. The deeper issue? No one knows who's really in charge. Tiger might advise, Keegan might lead, but as of now, there's no clear voice, no unifying anchor, and without a North Star, even the strongest team can drift. So now, with the dust beginning to settle, we're left with the only question that matters. What does all of this mean going forward? Tiger Woods is out. Keegan Bradley is in. The Ryder Cup clock is ticking, and Team USA finds itself at a crossroads, not just in strategy, but in identity. The future isn't unclear. It's unwritten. Keegan Bradley brings passion, no question. But passion alone doesn't build a winning team culture. The challenge now becomes multi-layered. Can a man who may still have a club in his hands also manage egos, personalities, and pressure from the captain's chair? Leadership can't share space with personal ambition. Bradley may wear the blazer, but his heart is still in the chase. That split could become a strength, or the first fracture. There's no blueprint for a modern playing captain. The last time it happened, the game was smaller, simpler. That's no longer the case. Tradition isn't strategy, and nostalgia doesn't win cups. And then there's Tiger. Even from the shadows, his influence looms. His absence from the official title doesn't mean he won't have a voice, but a voice without visibility only carries so far. Can Team USA succeed under indirect mentorship, or does real leadership require full presence? A legend in the wings still casts a heavy shadow. The heart of this story isn't about one Ryder Cup, it's about how American golf transitions from myth to movement. The old guard has shaped the narrative for decades. It's now a new era is being asked to take control, but without a clear philosophy guiding it. This isn't just a captaincy, it's a cultural test. And yet within that uncertainty, there's opportunity, a young captain, a chance to innovate, a moment to rewrite what the Ryder Cup means for Team USA in the modern age. The question isn't whether Keegan Bradley can lead. The real question is, will golf let him?